What's up, guys? So I'm gonna try this again. Hopefully this is not a repeat post, and hopefully I can capture the same emotion and spirit of uh, genuity that I had with the first post. So I just want to say thank you guys for wishing me a happy birthday. I definitely appreciate it. So it just moves me that when I look at my life and being 39 years old, which is still, it's not young, but it's definitely not, depending upon your perspective, it's short enough that in some ways I do feel young, but long enough in that I could say I've been in contact with a lot of people over the years. And it's wonderful looking at Facebook and seeing the happy birthdays from people who I've been close to even in elementary school, high school, college, medical school, residency, and even post residency at multiple times. There are places I worked at for like a year and was able to connect with people on a personal basis. Businesses I've been part of, I've been able to connect with people on a personal basis, and people who I'm part of business right now. Um, and it's touching to me because you may say, well, what do you mean by elementary school? What I mean by elementary school is, and, and I'm sorry if I'm leaving people out. I'm just touching some random places right now. Some of you guys are closer to me right now, but I'm just using this just as an example. Like, why is he talking about this person from 30 years ago when I'm close to, Will right now? I apologize for that. But when I mean by elementary school, there are people in elementary school. Like, when elementary school, I was made fun of a lot. My mom couldn't afford to send me to the barber, so she literally would cut my hair with scissors. And you can imagine how bad that looked. I wasn't able to afford glasses all the time, so when my glasses broke from running around and playing like every other boy, one side would be off. So I would go to school with just one side of my glasses on. We couldn't afford some of the cheapest sneakers, so I wore shoes that were half on, half off, like literally going to school with my shoes barely staying with the soles disconnected from the bottom of my feet. That's how poor we were growing up. And I was made fun of a lot. My only saving grace a little bit was the fact that I've always had good grades. I'm not bragging. I apologize if it sounds like I'm bragging, but I've always had straight A's. Always been a top student. Valedictorian twice, Prince, blah, blah, blah. You guys know. I've always been a top student. Um, and there are people who also are made fun of, who were in a similar predicament. And I swear to you, this one young lady, you look at her now, and she knows who I'm talking about. She has a very similar birthday to me now. And I say this respectfully because we're both married. Beautiful, beautiful woman now. You would never think that she looked the way she looked in elementary school. And people are mean. Kids are mean. And we connected a little bit even in elementary school because we both were made fun of. And then over the years, as we both were going through our stuff, we're like, wow, isn't it interesting how we both were made fun of and everything in elementary school? And look at us now, I'm like, yeah, that's a connection. There's some people we connected simply because we both are emergency room physicians, or we both are people we connected because we're both, from Newark, and here we are successful in two separate fields, whether it's a separate field of law or whatever. So there are people we connected with simply because we're beachbody coaches um, with similar backgrounds. So, or we're both dads. So I connected with a couple of people, a bunch of people over the years, and there's some people we just had maybe a one deep conversation for hours, or people we've been good friends or best friends for a couple of years through a transition phase, like through medical school. Or there's some people who we were very good friends, almost buddy buddy for 2 years in college, and then things change. We move on. Nothing bad, just move on. You lose contact with people, and it's just a blessing to see all those different people who were very important to me in different phases of my life. Um, Wish me a happy birthday. That really is important to me. It really touches me, and I just felt moved to say thank you to all those people. There are people on Facebook who giving me that pep talk and telling me how great I am, even though I don't believe I am when it comes to certain things in my life. So very encouraging. So I definitely am thankful for everyone. The reason I'm still humble and thankful on my birthday is because of three reasons. I know it looks like to some people, oh yeah, he thinks he's all that or whatever, but I'm still very humble and thankful for multiple reasons. The top three reasons, to be totally honest, is that I don't think I'm living up to my full potential. Yes, I'm a doctor. and everything. And, I'm a dad, but I believe, I was meant to reach out to even more people. I was given certain gifts, and I'm not going to name those gifts, but certain very unique gifts for me. I'm not saying I'm the only one with these gifts, but very few people were giving my specific set of gifts, and I think I have a responsibility to use those gifts to help as many people as possible. I wasn't meant to. They don't. I'm not saying anything negative, but for me, I don't think I was meant to work in an emergency room for the rest of my life and retire and call it quits. There was a reason I was given my specific set of gifts of and put in certain circumstances of being a medical doctor exposed to some of the greatest minds of medicine, but exposed to some of the greatest minds of fitness, and now about to be exposed to some of the greatest minds in nutrition, and given the body that I was given and intelligence I was given and the personality I was given. So I truly believe I was meant to do more. And until I accomplish that, then shame on me. And I'm going to be hard on myself. Even though to the world, they'll say, oh, yeah, well, you're successful, you're a doc. Until I complete my mission or do most of my mission, then I'm not going to be happy with myself. So, number one, I don't think I'm all that is because I know I have a lot more to do, and I'm blessed to be part of Beachbody. I have a strong feeling Beachbody is going to be a big part of that. And I don't want to sound like a commercial. I'm not even going to mention that name anymore, but I believe that organization is a big part of that, along with another organization, CrossFit. And I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that alone. I think I was put in the past of those two top companies for a reason. That's number one. Number two, like everybody else, I have a lot of regrets in life and mistakes I've made in life, and I wish those didn't happen in my life. So, and I'm very hard on myself, perfectionist. So, I won't go into detail about that, but there are things I've done over the years from elementary school, high school, things I've said. I wish I didn't have such a dirty mouth as far as cursing, but I think there's some things I still need to improve on that I wish I, have it, have it done or whatever. So I'm always in an improvement of myself. So I'm not happy, about that. So I just wish I, was a better person in that aspect. These aren't things I do continuously to this day, but you just get hard on yourself. You wish you never did certain things in your life, but you have, So that's that. We all have skeletons and things in our past. So, and the third reason, I don't think I'm all that, which is why I'm still very thankful and blessed that I'm able to touch people, is that um, oh, whenever I give advice, it's not anything groundbreaking that I came up with on my own that's very unique. Like to me, groundbreaking people are people like Albert Einstein and Martin Luther King who came up with certain concepts that most people would not have come up with on their own. That most people were like, oh my gosh, those are geniuses. All the wisdom that people are like, oh my gosh, you're so awesome, Dr. Perry, is stuff that I read. I read a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Um, Tony Robbins, Darren Hardy, John Maxwell. I watch a lot of Oprah, Joel Osteen, Jim Rohn, Les Brown. I watch a lot of YouTube videos in the background as I'm doing work. So a lot of the things I come up with that are wisdom aren't from me. They're from other people, but it looks like they're from me, and I come across as wise. When I'm not wise, I'm just well read. I'm not wise, I'm just well read. And even when I sit down and come up with things that may be similar to what other people come up with without reading, I honestly believe anybody would have come up with these things if you just sit down with yourself and think very deeply about your life. So I'm a strong believer in that. Every once in a while, we just need to sit down in silence, just think about, how did our day go, and what decisions did we make in our lives, and what we said, like what did we say to that specific person in our life? Like, why did we behave this way at work, or why did we behave this way towards our children or towards our spouse? And it makes me think about deeply, or why did that person behave towards me? And it makes me think very, very deeply. And I don't think that's groundbreaking. I just think most people don't take the time. We all just wake up in the morning, go about our day, and go to sleep. No one takes the time to sit down for 5, 10, I'll be honest, sometimes even 30 minutes, and just sit in silence. Sit just in your living room or in your bedroom in silence. You could do it with your eyes closed or looking around. Just think and analyze your life. And I think that anybody will come up with things. And I do this. I do this pretty often. That where I just sit down and just think. I'm like, wow, I could have done that better, this better. I could have behaved a little bit differently. And I'm very hard on myself. So when I come up with these things, I think anybody will come up with these things if they sat down with them. So I just don't think most people do. And the people who do, are people like the Tony Robbins of the world. So those are the three reasons I still to this day am very humble, despite what people see on Facebook, what I post. I do certain things because I'm feeling myself at the moment, or I'm doing it for marketing myself. Um, I may be doing this for marketing myself, or I'm trying to be funny, or trying to specifically get a specific effect. There's sometimes I'll do things on purpose just to get a type of response from a certain group of people, certain people. So, or I'm trying to get a question answered. So, but I still stay very humble, and I'm hoping that I grow more wise and become more of an example and more of a asset for more and more people as I get older. So, again, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Thank you.